Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the third round of the PC Tier 1 Season 6 Prospects Esport League. We are expecting a full grid today. We have around 17 drivers on already, and we're going to the Circuit Paul Ricard in France tonight, and it's going to be an interesting race. We're expecting, or I'm expecting a few weather variables throughout the race, but we'll wait and watch how it goes. And with me on comms today, I have my co-commentator Lemony Tang as well. Hi, Lemony.
Hello, 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 and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to join you, Harry, in the commentary booth this evening to be part of this PC Tier 1 round 3 from France. I'm looking forward to seeing how these get on this evening, and yeah, I just can't wait for this race.
Absolutely, and a little bit about the circuit. It's an even distribution of high, medium, and low speed corners. It's one of the key reasons why it's one of the most used test circuits in the world is because it has all these kind of tracks, and it has a typical decently good weather to test the cars to the limits. The circuit loves there's a long right hander that comes at the end of sector 2. The speeds over there average at around 290 kmph, and you're actually going flat out over there. There's a 5 G's worth of G forces that you experience through that corner. So a lot of ups and downs in the circuit. Not much of elevation changes, but yeah, that little bit of camber which comes into play in certain parts of the track definitely plays a role in how the exits work. So we'll quickly go on to the in a bit we'll go on to the lobby because the drivers are getting into qualifying, and yeah, we'll get the cars running, and it'll be a fun race and qualifying session probably.
Drivers are just in the paddock at the moment, getting their setups really for the car. They'll be lucky with the parc fermé conditions out there this evening. So they are out on track at the moment as we have a look at MR Meta in the Red Bull, I believe it is, going through the chicane down the back straight. They've had to introduce that chicane to stop these guys going Harry flatters through this flat out right hander coming up now. Although with these cars these days, Harry, they really do pick up speed fantastically well.
Absolutely. In fact, the downforce that's been improving throughout the whole, the whole regulation changes. Right now, it's taken a dip because they've tried to use ground effect more in the 2022 cars, but the downforce gets so much grip onto the car that it's not only the mechanical grip. There's also a lot of aero grip that you get, and together you can take such high speeds to these corners with these cars.
You can indeed. The Aero package with the 2022 regulations coming up soon as well with the new game.
Well, surely with the new game, we'll be expecting a different handling model, I presume, because from the initial testing which some of these pro esports drivers have been able to do with EA Sports, they seem to be happy that the direction of the new handling model is really encouraging, and yeah, we're all looking forward to it. Maybe there's some beta testing for the generic crowd as well, the generic drivers out there, generic gamers, and well, the game itself coming out somewhere in July of this year. So we'll wait and watch how that goes. In the meantime,
Indeed.
we've been on board Meta for a long time. Let's go on board the hottest driver on Quali, who's Lunatics, and have a look at what he's going on around the circuit.
Fantastic. So we're just having some technical difficulties here in the Lemony Tang side of things. So getting myself up. Using the as they come onto the back straight now, looking well in the Haas.
Yeah, good pace. I mean, we're still in the initial part of quali, so the track needs a little more rubbering in to be done by the drivers, and there's a little more like a warm-up to be done by these drivers. And as he's taking those curbs so close to invalidating on the white lines, which is so well set in this game that if you go any inch or a pixel away from the white line on the outside of the track, it invalidates you immediately, and he's keeping it just on track to get the best out of the circuit and the most track to be used.
You really do need to hang it out in this track. It is very easy to get them lap time invalidations, them white lines they're very easy to run over, especially with these flat curbs here in Paul Ricard. But it is the key to a fast lap time here with these drivers, and Tier 1, let it be known, it has come down to thousandths of a second before, so we expect some good lap times from these guys here this evening, and they're already pumping them in. First and second only covered by about a couple of tenths there as well, so great stuff from these guys so far.
Yeah, John Meister being the most competitive driver to Lunatics throughout the two rounds that we've seen till now in the previous rounds. That's Mexico and Monza, and they were pretty close in quali, but come race in Mexico, Lunatics had a touch of bad luck and had to, got spun around into turn 2 and got sent to the back of the grid at the race start. So I guess he's looking to get things right, get a good start, not having to make a comeback drive and show that dominant pace that he's able to put on track for us, put on show for us in quali. As we see the second Ferrari driver, UPAA, well, he's been struggling with track limits majorly. Pace is there for some, mid-pack racing. He can get into the midfield pretty well, but he seems to be losing out on a lot of penalties that he gains on track. So something to look out for in this race, and it's pretty easy, like Lemny was mentioning, to go over the line, and you don't really feel, there's not really much from the track, there's no feedback from the asphalt telling that you've gone over a curb, because there's a lot of flat curbs. And as we speak about that, UBI has just invalidated and let pass the Williams of, I presume, Dil, a Bungus over there.
Not quite sure, but that is Dill just about to cross the line now. What can he put on the board? He's in 10th at the moment, and he's gone right up to 5th position on a 130.8. Fair play to him, but Jonas straight away pips him to 5th position on a 130.8 as well. So they are literally 3 thousandths between these two drivers for the top 5. This is fantastic stuff here, Harry.
Yep, fantastic stuff indeed, and important to note, but it's 3 thousandths of a second splitting two drivers who were on two different compounds of tires. So Jonas was on the softs, 2-lap-old softs. He was on a second flying lap consecutively, whereas Dil has managed to do it on fresh mediums, and that shows the true pace that Dil might have if he puts on a set of fresh softs and probably goes on to minimum fuel through for his best quali run, I presume.
Yeah, it is a short qualifying as well, so these guys will be lucky to get 3 flying laps in 3 consecutive runs, I should say, especially if you get an invalidation. It can mess up your strategy here. So there's some guys out there who will be throwing away possibly a fast lap so they can get themselves in with about 5 minutes to go to get out for that last run, the last hurrah. But these guys trying to set a banker lap at the moment as we look at Owen coming through the fast S's just at the end of the track now. There's easy flat left, but you need to get the line right, into this left here. So he's really wide into the pit lane he comes, so he's abandoned that one, as I was just saying it there, Harry.
Yep, he's abandoned, and like you were mentioning, I think around 10 minutes left in quali, so about 2 runs left in the session, and they should not have much of a problem in getting 2 runs, I presume. They'll also getting into the pits on those mediums, those precious mediums, putting him in the top 6, and that's a really good lap. Commends to that, because he's in a very tight 3-way battle over there for P5 between Jonas, Dil and Dan Walker, all within 8 thousandths of a second, if you notice. Let's get that interval on, because that shows, as you can see over the 1.112, 1.116 and 1.121, very close between the 3, but Dil seems to be the faster driver there, considering he's done it on the mediums.
We called it at the start of it, Harry. This is tier 1. It does come down to thousandths of a second sometimes with these guys. And it's only 9 minutes and 30 odd left in the clock here. So we still have quite a long way left in this qualifying session. 9 minutes left on the clock. We've got quite a long way to go in this qualifying session here. And it's going to be interesting to see how they get on, because that invalidation can really throw your lap time away, especially through the exit of the last corner. You could also wreck your next run as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And just as you were talking about that, I've just noticed Dan Walker, when I came on board him, he seems to be on a fastest first sector and seems to be getting a pretty good second sector lined up for him. And we'll wait and watch. And he's gone 4 tenths better than his previous lap time. No purple sector, not the best sector on the grid right now, but he has a purple first sector. So we'll have to wait and watch how his final sector, that sector 3, goes, because if that is the case, he might go all the way to P1 or maybe put it on the front row.
He is pushing the boundaries here through the exits, through the corners. Can he make up the difference? Into the left-hander he comes, the second last corner. Compromise the exit to open up the last corner. You want to carry as much speed as you can onto that front straight. Accelerate now, the DRS open, and coming up to the line. It's quite a fair bit down this straight. And he's in the third position with that one. Great lap time by Dan Walker.
Yeah, brilliant lap time actually. That first sector was really fast for him. I don't know if it's because of the setup or he just nailed that turn 1 and 2, because if you get the right lines through turn 1 and 2, you can take so much more speed, and that gives you a couple of tenths automatically and gives you so much more confidence through the next few corners. In fact, this particular corner, if you can take it wide and get on throttle real early, the car can manage to do the aero on the car can manage to just quickly change the line and get a shallow line onto the back straight.
Just in that you say there, Dan Walker going through the chicane on the back straight there as well. So yeah, these guys need to be careful out there. Need to keep their head down. Their concentration levels are going to be through the roof in this qualifying session, especially as the time keeps ticking away. Oh, big wobble there for Jewel through the quick right-hander. But yeah, it's starting to come to crunch time for these guys. They're going to be feeling the pressure. Can anyone beat the pole sitter at the moment on a 129.7? I don't know. These guys definitely will be trying though.
Yep, and Lunatics has the lead, the fastest lap of 129.7, which is about 3 tenths faster than John Meister, who's on a lap right now. He didn't have the best. He didn't have the best of sector ones. Was 600ths slower than his previous best. So we'll wait and watch. Sometime around now, we'll know the lap time around sector 2, and he's managed to crave out another 3 tenths, 3.5 tenths out of that sector. So he's on for an improvement. He seems to be fighting for pole at the moment, but Lunatics is also on a hot lap and will quickly jump on board him after the end of John Meister's lap, who's right now in sector 3, a couple of corners left.
Yeah, John Meister knows he's on for a possible pole lap right now. The traffic gets well out of his way. Fair play to him. Into the left-hander now. Easy to throw away a lap time here, especially through the last corner. But he has a fantastic line and a great run through there. All he needs to do is put his head down. He's in second at the moment. Can he get pole position? No, he cannot. No, he cannot. Unfortunately, he just lost a bit through that. And he just missed out on beating his lap time himself.
Well, he not only lost a lot of time in sector 3, he lost almost 4 tenths in sector 3 and hasn't improved. But he's gone on a consecutive flying lap, so he's again on a final flying lap, I presume. But there's around 5 minutes left in the session, so he can easily get another lap in by going into the pits. But in the meantime, Lunatics on a lap time of his own, another faster lap time. He seems to be improving. He had the fastest sector 2 over there, managed to get around 700ths more out of the track, out of the car, and rounds up the final corner, gets onto throttle, stays to the left of the track and straight lines it, slightly going steering into the middle, and he goes fast. Oh, he does not improve. He is slower than 400ths.
Yeah, just like John Mazer there, he lost a little bit through the last sector, but he was so close, only 100th off, 100 or 2 off getting it there. So fair play to the guys. They are obviously pushing really hard, and consistency is a key as well, Harry. These guys will be looking fairly pretty for the race at this moment in time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, looking at the current tires that the drivers are on, I wanted to note that they all seem to be going for the standard soft medium strategy with not much of a thought over there. I mean, there's a possibility of a safety car, I know, with the amount of close racing that happens in the first few laps. And as we go into the pit lane, very narrow, very slow, and they had to slow down almost to a standstill over there between Upiyaya and Dil.
So as we were saying earlier on, that the guys are throwing away a possible lap time now to get in with just about 4 or 5 minutes on the clock. It's really coming to crunch time now. It's the last runs. It's 3.5. Sorry, the amount of yellow flags out there, I couldn't see the clock for ages. But it's starting to kick down now. The crescendo of qualifying. Can anyone beat John Miser? As Bungus is about to cross the line into 9th. Good stuff from himself there. The top 10 provisionally for now, but can anyone else beat that? Let's see. There's 16 cars left in qualifying here. It's going to be very interesting here, Harry.
Absolutely. In fact, through all of that, we've managed to miss that John Meister has pipped Lunatics for pole position, provisional pole position at this point, with 2-lap-old softs. So he's done a 29.6, which is about 200ths faster than Lunatics' fastest lap. So we'll have to wait and watch for that final run, because I'm sure both drivers will attempt, and I'm not 100% sure if John Meister will get another go at quali at another lap time, but Lunatics is definitely in the pits trying to, visualize that lap time, visualize that lap through once, and then get out onto the track and cut a few corners, maybe take it till the end, because that's the best condition the track will be at that very final second of quali ending.
Yeah, good spot as you say it there, Harry. There is time to be gained if you cut them corners quite a bit, but we try not to encourage that too much if we possibly can. But anyway, let's see how these guys get on out there. Enough time is on the clock. 2 minutes is left, and as you say, John Moyer into pole position. I tell you now, I should have gone to Specsavers. I was only commentating when that happened and I totally missed it. So
Well, Owen right now starting a hot lap of his own. Someone who's had brilliant... Oh, and as he spins into turn 2 on the curbs.
Well, if there's a track to do with that, this one is it. There's not many barriers to find out there, but he gets away with it. He's in 7th at the moment. Does he have enough time to get around? Yes, he does. He should do. Get them tyres cooled off. He needs to put the pedal down a little bit, but he can't afford to let the heat back out of them. He just can't afford another spin out there. But he will get another lap time in, as HRT goes into 6th position as well. So fantastic stuff. Stun, Sushi Trash and Liz Tom has not set a lap time. They are really feeling the pressure now. Can they get themselves a lap time on the board? There's no such thing as a banker lap now. They have to put it out there. Can they do anything right now? Suchi is invalidated all the way on the other side of the track. He might have enough time to get back around, but that is not good for the Mercedes driver. As the rest of the guys, Josh Maynard is in the pit, so he's left it. The pole sitter has taken a back seat, cracked open an ice cream, done a Kimi Räikkönen. Can anyone beat him? Lunatics is on a lap now. Dan Walker's in the pits, he's thrown in the towel. JDX is on an out lap, so maybe he'll get around. And Jonas is in the pit lane. So Lunatics is in 2nd at the moment, coming down into the chicane. Fantastically executed through here. Look at that precision, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, if I could only do something like that, I would be in this tier myself. As he comes onto the exit now, through the left-hander onto the back straight. Not much you can do down here, Harry, but he's got the DRS open. The ERS is coming down in qualifying mode into the chicane now. Time to pick a braking zone and swing it in left. Missed it a little bit wide through there, but he gained a little bit through the exit. Can he keep the momentum? Checker flag is waving out there, but this is Lunatics' time to do it. He's up by nearly 1/10 of a second on his lap time. Can he keep it through the next sector? This is where it's all won and lost, Harry.
Absolutely, and coming into sector 3, getting those apexes perfectly, getting the exits right, not locking up much and just kissing the curb over there on the inside. And he has just a couple of corners left and he's a 10th up. Let's hope that he's able to carry that momentum to the end, because that'll be a brilliant fight to the finish. Going over that curve a little too much, maybe unsettling the car, but without any doubt bravely going across. And let's hope he gets the fastest lap time, because we're rooting for him. And he does go pole position with a 10th and a half faster than John Meister's fastest lap, and he has pole position for the night's race.
Absolutely amazing stuff from Luntech. He gets the pole position here this evening. Liz Tom's into 4th. He was the one on the with a bit of thing to do there as well from bottom. So fair play to him as well. But Lutix is pole sitter so far. Can anyone do anything about it? Sush Trash has invalidated no lap time for himself. So it's only Bungus who's left out there with Liz Tom, I'm assuming, who's on an in-lap. And no, that's an invalidation. So check out Liz Tom. But I think Lutic has it here, Harry. Yes, he does indeed. Lutic is pole sitter for the Grand Prix. Congratulations to himself and Haas. Fair play to him.
Yep, definitely. Fair play to him. Beautiful lap over there at the end. Managed to get all the performance out. In fact, I think his best improvement would have been in Sector 3 because that's where he was losing. But kudos to Dil, who's come up to P3 with a lap on the softs, and Tom, who didn't have a lap time till that final run, and now he's in P4 as well. So, yeah, a lot of change in the order with those couple of drivers managing to put in some good laps, and the top 4 managing to break into the 29s, and all the way from P5 to P11 we have drivers in the 130s. So yeah, pretty close grid, I must say, and expecting them to show the same pace and same close battles in the race as well.
It's fantastic stuff out there from the guys. As you mentioned there, a good few lads all within a second. The top 10 almost just split over by over a second. But that is Lutic in pole position for the Grand Prix, with John Macer joining him on the front row, with Dylan Tom in third and fourth, Dan Walker in fifth, JDX is sixth, T for Real is in seventh, Jonas is in eighth, HRT in ninth, Bungus is your top 10, ladies and gentlemen, with PRL Owen in 11th. He didn't have a great end. He was in like 5th at one stage. Yuplia in 12th. Mr. Meta in 13th. TVT Arrows in 14th. Brandon in 15th. And Sushi Trash 16th. And Joss in 17th. Fair play to the lads out there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a cracker of a race. Don't you go anywhere. We promise you that.
Brilliant qualifying. I mean, I'm a little shocked, not shocked, I must say awestruck at the amount of pace and the amount of talent that's there on this tier. In fact, we'll wait and see if the race is dry, and it seems like it's going to be a dry race on a dusky situation. It's in the evening, and the quali was probably in the afternoon. Hot tire temperatures, track temperatures. Managing those tires through Sector 3 must have been a tough spot for the drivers. But let's see how that goes in race, because the temperatures will be a tad bit lower than quali, and they will be starting on, all of them will be starting on softs, I presume, because the top 10 were on softs. Their fastest laps were on softs. But we'll wait and watch what the tire situation is shortly as I get the telemetry on for this. Well, the top 10 are on softs as expected, and all the way from P11 to P13, excluding P14 over there, and P16 and 15 as well. All of them on mediums. One driver over there, that's TTV Arrows, on the hards. Pretty brave choice of tire, with which, I mean, it'll put him on a back step at the first 2 laps, because he'll not have enough temperatures to find the grip and fight for positions, I presume. But this formation lap will prove us wrong if he's managed to get some good tire warm-up in. But JD05 at P17 starting on the softs as well. As we go on board him, he's coming up from the back of the grid at the moment.
Yeah, JD needs to pull something out of the back. Interesting that you say Arrows in 14th on them hards. He probably will drop back towards the end, but that's not a bad thing. Keep your front wing in shipshape order, and he should be all right. He should be in a good distance for the rest of the race. See how he goes. Maybe a late safety car could capitalize right into his hands. But yeah, these guys, as you say, the top 10 on the softs, the rest on mediums, bar Arrows and JD on the softs, going an aggressive strategy, starting last. He needs to make something happen here, Harry.
Absolutely, as I need 1 second to get something sorted. We'll get back quickly.
Yeah, not to worry about that one, but it's going to be an interesting one, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you guys go anywhere. This start is going to be entertaining as anything else. These tier 1 guys really do put pedal to the metal. They let it be known. These guys put a lot of effort, time, and blood, sweat, and tears in some situations. They do. They are pretty much like athletes out there. Concentration needs to be at a maximum through this race as they are warming up their tyres now, starting to plan their turn one antics. Can they make a move? Can they keep their nose clean? That is going to be the aim of the game here. Pretty much survive the first lap, settle into a rhythm, and make the passes when you can.
Absolutely, and I wanted to mention that Owen over there in P11, yes, he did not have the best of qualies, but then P11 seems to be the best position to start at if you want to try the alternate strategy, because he has a fresh set of mediums on. He can go deeper into the race, and if he's able to, you know, get some luck and the safety car comes in at the right time. But let me cut myself off as 4 lights will be coming out somewhere. As we have 5 lights on, lights out, and away we go. Beautiful start over there from P2 for John Meister as he goes up into P1 over there, leaving Lunatics in the dust, and some wheel banging over there between P2 and P3 and P4 between Dil and Tom. Through turn 1 and 2 we go, and there's a lot of wheel banging over there. Some drivers going wide as I see JDX pulling out a brilliant start, but drops a couple of positions back as he goes to P12, 13, 16. Changing a lot of positions back over there as drivers are going wheel to wheel, 3 wide, almost 4 wide over there through the end of sector 1. As we see a spun Owen over there, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, that's Owen. That's around, unfortunately, in the sister Haas. But what a fantastic move from the new race leader, Lutix, around the outside by John Mazer into the first bit of the chicanes there through lap 1. Can he make a gap of over a second to get out of that DRS zone? But a fantastic start from the guys. Everyone seems to be keeping his ship shape at the moment. The slipstream down the back straight into the flat out right hander. Is anyone gonna pop out into this really sweeping right hander here? Easy to run wide. You need to keep patience on the exit here as well, especially with old tyres. But the guys are keeping it nice and tidy right now. Dan Waller is in 5th, and it's a good battle for the lead here. They're all nose to tail, Harry.
Absolutely. I mean, Dan Walker seems to be slightly losing his place over there, but he has to make up immediately. They're trying a deep move on the inside, slightly gets tagged. Very tight space over there, almost got closed over there with all right from Tom over there. But yeah, he's battling for that P4 or P3 position with Tom.
Interesting, as you say. A little bit of contact made as the Williams runs wide through the chicane, and he's after spinning through the chicane. He's going to drop all the way down the field now. He got caught up. That Williams was wide through turn 1, and it looked as if Dan just got caught up through the exit there while the Williams was recovering and couldn't quite hold on to it. It's an easy corner to do on the exit, but he'll be kicking himself in that cockpit.
That was just unfortunate. He was licking his lips, looking at a possible podium, maybe even a win, being really close. Yes, it was only lap 2, but he seemed to be having the pace. Even in quali, he was really showing some pace, but now he'll have to do a comeback kind of a drive from all the way from P14, in fact 15. Now he's dropped a position to Owen as well, as Owen has overtaken him maybe down the back straight, as there is some battling happening on track after the chicane on the back straight between Jonas and Mr. Meta, but they seem to be settling in over there pretty calm.
Jonas has used a lot of his ERS there. He seemed to get an unusually good run. Virtual safety car is being deployed, ladies and gentlemen. Has anyone going to take advantage here, especially on them softs, to get these tyres off? That's not good for the likes of Mr. Meta and co in mediums and the hards. But let's see how they get on. And that's a 5-second penalty for people. Severe collisions under the safety car. What's after happening? Everyone's coming into the pit lane. That's what's after happening.
Yeah, that's what's happened over there is going into the pits. I think John Meister must have gotten hit by someone, and the safety car is out, which has probably helped the drivers who pit. But John Meister, who's pit, got hit by JDX, I presume, and they had a 5-second penalty somewhere over there that got thrown into the mix. So that's gonna disadvantage him in the next set of pit stops.
Yes, that's a really good point you make there, but I can't believe it. The leaders have been caught right up behind the safety car, so they do not get the advantage of getting around for them fresh set of softs. And John Mazer, JDX and Bungus and co are really after getting a fantastic helping hand here by the safety car. This strategy has fallen right into their hands.
Absolutely. In fact, I want to see if the mediums from this lap. I mean, there'll be another 2 laps under safety car, I presume, because there are a few drivers to catch up. But totally a 3 safety car laps will be followed by the game, and on the 3rd lap or the end of 3rd lap, the safety car gets called in. So I guess they have another maybe at lap 5 or lap 6 they're gonna start racing. So that means they'll have around 20 laps to do on the mediums, and that should be pretty doable, pretty easy. And this is a race to the end if there are no more incidents.
Interesting that you say that. Race to the end with no more incidents. It seems as if it was Yuppie who was the one caught out in that one, in this particular one. But yeah, this is really going to throw the strategy and the cars closer together. Some cars with fresher tyres not too far away from the start of the race, so it's not as much of an advantage if it was 5 laps in, perhaps. But at the same time, it's going to bring everyone closer together. And the old saying does say, cautions breed cautions. So it might be an entertaining one from here on out.
True that, and also TTV arrows with the hearts. If you notice over there, he's in P5 right now. That's a brilliant start for him. It's a lucky start for him. But what we have to keep in mind is that he will also be struggling. Oh, wait a second. The top 3 have pit, and if they pit, they have gone on to a fresh set of mediums, and they've pit too late. And that sends Lunatics all the way to the back of the grid, and so does it send Tom as well.
I can't believe it. They really did get shafted by that safety car, the Aston Martin safety car here in Paul Ricard. But that is a disaster for Lunatic. The pole sitter, I can't believe it.
That's just unfortunate. I think that the timing of the safety car was so bad or unlucky for the likes of Tom and Lunatics that they just passed the pit entry, and they unfortunately couldn't decide to pit. That's what I presume, or else Lunatics would have pit pretty early as soon as the safety car came out.
Yeah, absolute disaster. Can't believe it. But anyway, that's how motor racing goes. The old saying says it can't get any worse. In motor racing, it certainly can. So, Lunatics has to come up with a master plan here from 14th on the grid, same as Liz Tom. I tell you now, he started in 4th position himself, respectively. So, it's going to be a close one here. Sushi Trash, though, caught up in the first lap incident, perhaps had to do an early pit stop. He's pretty handy now in 12th position, back up with the pit with the guys as well. So, there is some winners and there is some losers. So, what comes around goes around, Harry.
Absolutely, and just as we're talking about that, someone going, okay, that was a glitch. Thank God. It looked like Bungus had gone straight into the wall while weaving, and in the middle of all of that, I think the safety car has been called in as well this lap. So there's going to be a safety car restart. Dil is currently leading the whole grid on for the safety car restart. He'll try and get some heat into those tires, not get too much tire deck, because he is leading T for real, who are the only two the top 2 are the only 2 drivers who've not pit, and they're on, I mean, they've not pit for medium tires, so they are on the softs that they started on, and they will have to pit for sure coming up soon. If there is no safety car, they're going to be at a disadvantage, but if they manage to pull out a good lead on the drivers all the way from P3 to downwards, that's going to be useful for them.
I think he's already gone. He's out there catching. Oh no, wait a minute. Why did he slow down for? He caught the grid napping, and now there we go. They're all gone now. But that was a bit of weird stuff at the start there. A bit of an iffy one from DH Hill. But as everyone goes into the left-hander, the Ferrari and Co seem to be side by side. There's a on board with Mr. Meta going through there. A little bit compromised through the exit. Is anyone up the Ajaxi? No, not quite so. So everyone seems to be getting themselves fanning out nicely. Although that looks like someone wide in the chicane bit, so it's going to be interesting onto the back straight here. Oh, there's a Ferrari around. That's John Mazer around through the right-hander. Disaster for himself. So he drops all the way back down. Has he got any damage? Them rear tires are going to be super hot as well. He needs to be careful for a lap or two. But that's one driver spat out there pretty uncontrollably through there. Just got a little bit of a slap going on, oversteer, and he couldn't correct it in time. Les Tom on Dan Walker here, Harry. This is looking pretty good.
Pretty good indeed, and it's a flat right, and as we see, there's someone taking out the styro board styrofoam boards over there, going a little too wide. I think it was Sushi Trash rejoining a little dangerously, takes out Lunatics, and that's a
No, that's the
disaster.
pole sitter. Sorry, go ahead.
Yep, sorry about that, but yeah, Tom and Lunatics getting caught out by that. Lunatics coming out the worst. In fact, he is sent all the way back right now, and he's behind John Meister as well, and hot tires causing him to spin a lot. So that's going to be disastrous for him at the moment.
Absolute disaster for Lunatic. He's thrown it away. He's got himself caught up in a couple of things here. Strategy and the safety car has not done him any favors. Jump off to somebody there. One of the other battles there, because leave poor old Lunatic to his misery. But Owen in 4th position as he spun around at the start of this race. He's kind of clawed his way back up through a bit of fortune and whatever, but strategy and everything. He's in 4th position, a little bit loose through there as well. Mr. Meta's going to get a good run onto the back straight here, but these guys are not happy with the handling out there, Harry. There doesn't seem to be much grip at all.
Yep, and it's also probably partially due to the weather conditions. There might be... Oh, and Mr. Meta almost cutting all of the curb on the inside in that chicane, turn 8, I presume, if I'm not wrong. And that is going to be a little problematic, because you do not want to get penalties, and those time penalties can really affect you. As we see, there are more yellow flags in Sector 2. Probably Lunatics just spinning a lot. And Lunatics left the session as well.
Yeah, he's retired. He's thrown the toys out of pram, unfortunately, for a Lunatic here this evening. It was looking so promising for the pole sitter, but unfortunate strategy call with the safety car just as he passed the pit entrance, and then getting caught out there in the midfield in the battling. So unfortunate for himself, he has retired, but there is still battles going on out there. John Mayer is caught the back of Brandon, who's just lost the position of Dan Walker. So it's kicking off everywhere here in the grid, and look at this, there's not even a second between 4th and 8th at the moment. So these guys are really going at it here. Great battling through the grid.
Absolutely, pretty close. And the waiting, as we see Brandon Ello, they're getting a 3-second penalty. Meta are using a lot more than what is on offer on track width, taking a lot of curb. Pretty brave over there, going a little wide over there as well, but the game and the handling model lets you take that. And as we see, a much better exit for JDX out of turn 7, and blazes past Meta over there, but Meta sticks it in over there around the outside, tries to stay but goes too deep and won't be able to fight for P5. But Bungus right now immediately putting pressure on Mr. Meta, and Mr. Meta seems to be dropping a little further back because it's probably because he has 2 lap older tires, but those mediums are not done anytime soon. They have a lot more left in them, lot more pace and lot more tire life left in them. So maybe something to check out later.
It will definitely be something to have a look at later, but TTV Arrows in 2nd position on them hards is looking fantastic out there. Brandon gets a spin through the back of the grid there, but Owen and Arrows as well are battling through the top here. So, oh no, that's T for Reals in the pit lane on them soft. So them soft runners are really starting to cry. It's only DHL left out there on them softs.
Yep, Dil seems to be pushing those softs on, and he has a 4-second lead to TTV Arrows right now. In fact, increasing, ever so increasing. It's gone to 4.5 already as I speak. And he's right now entering Sector 2 and coming out of turn 6 into turn 7 at the back straight. That's a useful lead for him, and come a safety car right now would be perfect for him to fight for the win, because what is going to happen over there is he'll get a free pit stop. But the best placed right now on the grid for a beautiful result, considering he started P14, is Arrows, because he started on the hards and he seems to be having the pace as well. He seems to be able to stay in front of Owen at the moment.
He is doing fantastic out here at the moment on them hards is Arrows. But as you say, Owen is closing behind. He's only a couple of tenths behind him now. Interesting stuff down the straights there. Looking at the timing screen as you look at 13th position in the Red Bull going through the chicane. Good stuff from these guys out there. It's going to be an interesting one. I want to say hello to everyone on the chat out there. What Story Monday, Hirsch, Ichi, how was the form, everybody out there? Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Owen as well, the Monday and Liz Albo. Everyone out there, how are you doing? Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Absolutely, and as we're speaking about that, there's a battle for the lead right now because Dil has spit and he's gone to P10 right now. Let's see where he comes out because this is important to see if he's going to be able to make a good comeback with mediums on. He has spit, he's exiting the pit sometime around now. That is Dil. He's come out in P10 on fresh mediums. He's 8 laps younger mediums, 6 laps younger mediums than most of the drivers around him. And as we see a fight for the lead between Owen and TTV Arrows, Owen keeping it calm, staying within DRS, getting pulled along by Arrows because Arrows seems to be having the pace, but he has a penalty to think about, and that'll be something he'll want to look at. And as we speak, Brandon L has retired from the race, and there's a safety car. There is a safety car.
Full-blown safety car. Can't believe it there, Harry. So as you say, that was Brody. You literally called it. You must have seen it on the timing screen, and he's retired, and it's a safety car. So he's binned it out there, unfortunately, for himself. But everyone gets to have a bit of a pit stop here more than anything else. Get a fresh set of mediums on if you can, and go to the end of the race.
Well, someone who's really going to be kicking himself is Dil because he's dropped all the way to P10 on fresh mediums, and he was a lap early. If he had stayed out one more lap, he would have gotten a chance at staying in P1. And as we see, there's going to be a barrage of pit stops right now. And going straight into the back over there. Multiple drivers, multiple front wings getting donated to the Paul Ricard circuit. As we
What are
see
they doing?
Bungus.
What are they doing that for? They must have thought the rules are different there because it's round 3. And surely they know that by now that they'll smash their front wings. Just unnecessary, just to go in like that. You know, we promote real racing, good racing, and I think a few of them just locked up a little bit into the pit lane there. So anyway, the pits, the guys are returning to the racetrack from the pit lane. Some of them a little bit more battered and bruised than others. But it is Jonas in the lead now, with Les Tom in second. D Hill is in third. Arrows in fourth, and Owen is your top 5.
Yeah, and something to note over there, Owen has gone on to hards for some reason where a mediums could have done the job probably for the rest of the race. Not sure why that tire choice, but as you saw there, Dil, who's in P3 right now for the Williams, what has happened over there is all the drivers spitting for fresh mediums, the softs or hards, which everyone seems to have gone for a mix. That has helped him come back to P3, and now that's a very lucky strategy call from other drivers that has helped him come all the way up to P3, and that means he can fight for the win right now, and he seems to be having the pace as well for it.
Yeah, oh, there's me on the video. Yeah, he's looking pretty good at the moment, but as we've seen it before and we'll see it again, this strategy call can go different for these guys. It's going to be interesting to see how the end of this race goes. It's just about halfway here for the Prospects eRacing League guys, but it certainly isn't over.
Not over, and a quick look at how many positions people have been, the drivers have been gaining or losing through the race at lap 10 right now, where we are under safety car right due to a retirement on track by Brandon L in the Williams. We have Jonas, who's made up 7 positions. He's on 7 lap old mediums. Yes, he might have to pit towards the end, or he can go to the distance, but he might not have the performance to defend probably. And Tom in P2, he's made up 2 positions. Dil maintaining P3 is where he started from the race. At the race start. TTV Arrows 10 positions, and Sushi Trash as well 10 positions. Sushi Trash might be hot on this restart because he has fresh softs on, and he's on the softest compound, and the drivers around him are on hards or mediums. So he might have a lot of grip, tons of grip to try and have the maximum mid-cornering speed and go past drivers if he gets the perfect exits out of maybe turn 7 down that back straight.
I think Dale might be hoping for a late safety car to come in for a brand spanking set of softs if he has any spare. But I think that might be his plan for the moment. As you say, he could be struggling towards the end of this race and need an extra pit stop. But who knows what can happen. We've seen safety cars already in this race. he could be banking on another one.
Absolutely, and there seems to be a lot of penalties as well around. Some might get removed, not sure about that, but that's up to the stewards. But there are a lot of 6 second, 5 second, 10 second, 11 second penalties as well, due to some collisions under while entry into pit lane, while speeding into pit lane, and some of them are also due to track cuts. So yeah, that mid pack all the way from P4 to P6 and barring P4 real out over there in P7, and then from 8th to 10th, everyone seems to be having penalties as well, something they might not want at this stage.
In fairness, though, Harry, we seen them into the pit lane. They all came barreling in as if there wasn't anyone in front of them as the safety cars about to come in this lap, and they just expected, I don't know, for them to just drive through them, which wasn't the case.
Yep, ghosting is not going to be on if until and unless you're a lapped car and you have blue flags waved. So everyone is pretty experienced in the game right now to know that that's how the game works. And as we see over here, John is leading up the rest of the drivers, 13 who are left out of the 17 who started. We have 4 retirements till now in Brandon L, Lunatics, UP Yaya, and HRT. As we see, John is coming around the last couple of corners to start the race, and he's waiting for the safety car to enter the pit lane so that there's no throttle cut. And as we see, he seems to be going a little slow, cruising after the final turn, taking it wide and slow, putting the ERS on, and he's gone for it. He's shot out of the final corner, and he seems to have gotten the jump on Tom, who in turn has seemed to have gotten the jump on Dil. Not much of changes in positions, as we see Owen losing a position to Sushi Trash. As expected, Sushi Trash having a lot of grip on those softs. He will be really fast, and he'll try to get into that lead pack of drivers and probably get a couple of positions if possible. As we see some wheel-to-wheel wheel banging between P3 and P4, that is Dil and TTV Arrows. Arrows getting sent wide over there, and Sushi Trash is gonna be trying to send it around the outside, might get an illegal overtake, might have to give the position back as well to TTV Arrows, but I think he stays ahead of TTV Arrows and keeps the position. That's P4. Will send it into the chicane, goes a little too deep, but will be right on the diffuser of Dil in no time.
Yeah, that was a bit of a mad move there from Sushi Trash. He was kind of forced out there by Arrows after running wide through the right-hander. But it's getting really close towards the top of the field here. Tom going for the lead.
Well, going for the lead or not, Tom lost out a position to Dil, and he's still wheel to wheel and sends it down the inside on turn 12, I think, and he's managed to keep it there. He's going wheel to wheel through the final couple of corners, and Tom seems to have made some contact over there with Dil, gets sent wide, but comes back as Dil is trying to make a move for the lead over here on Jonas. Jonas not having the best of times right now, having to defend from 2 real hot-headed drivers, waving a little, but chooses his line and takes the line back on the racing line back before braking, and has a slight squirmy moment out of turn 2. He's really struggling. He's feeling the heat.
He's defending too much there. Arrows has spun in the first corner as well. See him dropping down. He's defending the air at the moment, is Jonas. But Dale is right over him just like a rash. It looks as if he's already made the move.
Well, he's made the move or not over there. Jonas spins on exit.
Reset the track as well. Not condoned in the Prospects eRacing League. He's rejoined, but he's in 11th. And Tom has crashed. Tom has crashed out of the race.
Well, I'm not sure where he's crashed out, as I try to capture that on stream, but I don't think I will be able to. He seems to have lost it or had a crash in turn 8. He's on the inside off track on turn 8, so he is out of the race. That is really sad. I'm not sure how that happened, but Sushi Trash is right now in the lead. Jonas is in P9. It seems to be a coming together between Jonas and Tom that has caused this incident. I'm not really sure, as we did not catch it on stream, but yeah, the yellow flags are off and we're back to racing, and the green flags are out, as Sushi Trash is right now leading the race on 2-lap-old softs, as I get that graphic on 3-lap-old softs, with Owen in P2 with 4-lap-old hards on. he's out of the DRS zone or the DRS window of Sushi Trash. So Sushi Trash can try and build a gap now. Till also seems to have been caught up in that incident with, I think, Tom, and he is in P11. He's in the pits right now, so his chance to get that win also gone at this point, because he might not get a chance to catch up to the field itself. Might get a chance at the fastest lap or wish for a safety car, because right now he's in P12. He's been overtaken by JDX as well, and the field right now easing out over there a bit.
Ooh.
As John Meister and JD05 swapping positions. JD05 gets the move done into turn 8, the chicane on the back straight, as John Meister seems to have a much better exit on the mediums, and he's staying on the inside over there, might send it on the inside, keeps it on the inside, and they're going wheel to wheel through sector 3 around turn 11 over there. Different lines over there as John Meister sends him a little wide, pushes him a little wide off track, and gets the move done, maybe. But JD05 sends it back down the inside through turn 12, I presume. And as they go through turn 13, 14, and 15, this section really sweeping and a little harsh on the tires. But John Meister seems to have stuck it into the right gaps and has P4 set right now from JD05.
Well done to John Meister. Fair play to him. JD05 did. Oh, he's got back around the outside, JD has. So he's taken the position back. This is a fantastic battle. It's been raging the whole lap long. These guys have been inseparable. The rest of the pack are starting to close up too with these guys battling. But yeah, Harry, as you were calling it there, it's been a fantastic battle with these guys. And Mr. Mert is there. And JD's wide. So John has gone up the inside onto the back straight. Does he have the DRS as well? Perhaps not. And there's a yellow flag out there as well.
In all of that, I think somewhere between JD and John Meister, Mr. Meta, who's trying to catch up and be opportunistic, lost out on that battle and got tagged. And I think he's spun around and he's now in P10 with 5 lap old hards.
Mr. Meta getting pushed out of the pack here, but these guys are nose to tail. JD is still in front now of John Meister. This battle is raging for the last 2 laps. Fantastic racing. Sushi Starfish is out in the lead at the moment by 3.3 seconds. But we're sticking with this battle right now because these guys are glued as they're side by side at Arrow of Bungus. But Arrow gets spat out a little bit there as well. So these guys, the elbows are out. It's lap 15 and 27. There's still about 12 laps to go here, Harry. But these guys are treating it as if it's the last.
Absolutely, they're sending it. In fact, Bungus trying to be as aggressive on defense as possible because he knows he's on a disadvantage in terms of tire grip with the hards on. And as we see up ahead, John Meister lining up the move on the inside, blocks the chance of JD05 trying a switch back, going wide and taking the right racing line over there and stays ahead of JD05. But he's lost all of his ERS trying to battle JD05. So he has absolutely no ERS left in tank. That is John Meister, just 15% of ERS left, whereas JD05 in comparison has around 50% left, and he can fight him pretty easily down the back straight, I presume. And as he's within DRS, let's watch if he's getting that move done with ease.
JD had a 4-wheel drift there. Look at his save it. Nice correction. But as he closes down the back straight here, he's going to run out of juice by the end of it. With another 100 yards, he would have had that move pulled off. But as they try to get a good run now, JD in 5th, John Meister in 4th. Owen is on the back of T4 Real as well. Sorry, T4 Real is just past Owen for 2nd position. Can he make any inroads into sushi trash? But fantastic racing through the whole field here. JD is literally, they were side by side and there's contact. John Mayer's gone down the grid here and he's taken a fantastically weird line. I think he was compromised there by JD, and then Dan Walder and Bungus and Arrows have taken advantage of that one. So we've missed out a bit on that, but these guys have been the detriment to themselves, really. They've lost loads of time to the car in front, as I think that is JD coming into the pit lane, gonna take some damage. But there we go. They just really cost themselves time through that battle, and them two were the ones who've come out the losers.
Absolutely, and as we were speaking over there, we seem to not be able to capture the right things on track, but Owen seems to have taken P2 back from T4 Real. down the start-finish straight, and now he's leading on to the back straight where he might be at a disadvantage considering that T4 Real has 20% more ERS and has little more to deploy and attack Owen. But Owen seems to have gotten the perfect lines through Sector 1 and has that little bit more gap to T4 Real to defend and not let him pass him.
So Owen is on them hards, right, with 7 laps on them. Sushi Trash is in the lead on 7 lap old softs as Owen lights up the rear there. T for real on 9 lap old mediums in third is getting a fantastic run. Is he going to pop out of the slipstream? No, he decides better of it. So there's better of valor there. There we go. As he follows Owen through the really hard right-hander. Them tyres are going to be screaming by the end of this race here.
Screaming or not, he seems to have played the long game. He's managed to think about it and stay behind Owen instead of trying a late lunge down the inside through turn 11, because what it has helped with is that he'll get DRS now, and they both will be fighting for the lead now because Sushi Trash has spit, his tires are done, and he's gone on to mediums now to end the race on those set of tires, and he's going to be dropping down the field pretty drastically. He's gone down to P7 and downwards, I presume, maybe even losing a position to his teammate. As we stay on board T for real to see if he's going to be fighting for the lead. He will be fighting for the lead, and he's even saving a little bit of ERS, trying to play the long game. He's going to get that DRS, very important DRS down the back straight, and we'll wait and watch how that goes between Owen and T for real.
Yeah, so For Real's going to try to get a great run here. He's within 6/10. Oh, he's within 5/10 now, so that's definitely going to be within striking distance into the braking zone here. The DRS is wide open. He's out of the slipstream, though, so I think he is still waiting to get Owen, the new race leader, out there nonetheless. Fair play to him on the hards. But I just have to note that Sushi Trash got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and I could only visualise himself flat out into there expecting not to get a penalty, and he got slapped at one. So many drivers out there suffering from that this evening must have missed the memo. But fantastic battle for the lead here between Owen and T4 Real. Owen on the hards, T4 Real on the mediums. You'd have to assume they're going to go for the rest of the race, as we see Mr. Meta with no front wing out there.
Yeah, Mr. Meta seems to have had an incident with I'm not sure with whom, but he's come out worse in that battle, and he has no front wing, so he'll be pitting immediately and will drop down a lot of positions, I mean to the back of the grid, and with no possible chance until there's a late safety car to catch up to the drivers ahead.
He definitely needs something out there, same with JD05 and D Hill. So as the race has progressed, these guys, the main contenders, the protagonists, have all been getting themselves caught out with a bit of contact here and a bit of bouncing off people there, spinning here and DRS, ERS out of usage there. You know, this has turned into a fantastic end of this race, but it's Owen who's found himself in the lead, with T4 Real in second, with Arrows, with all his trials and tribulations, is wound up in third. Bungus is in fourth, and John Meister is your top 5, ladies and gentlemen, but that will change by the end of it, I guarantee it.
Absolutely. In fact, through the first 2 sectors of this lap, if you notice, T4 Real had a 9/10 gap to Owen, but now he's just suddenly put his foot down and he's gotten within 3/10 already. So he's definitely trying something different over here. In fact, I think he's dropped a little bit back to get some heat off the tires. He must have had some overheating tires. He wants to take care of the tires so that he can fight to the end of the race, because those mediums are 11 laps old. He has one of the second most oldest set of mediums on the grid after Jonas, who has 16 lap old mediums, and he'll want to finish the race on these tires with a competitive pace to Owen, because Owen has only 9 lap old hards and he has the tire life to keep pushing every lap from here on.
Yeah, so that's a really good point that you make there. It's starting to come down to strategy with this race. It really is. Can T4 Real make any inroads here? He's within 5/10 now, but can he keep that through the corners here? This is 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 as they're coming through them. Very technical, tight sections, easy to lose 3 or 4 tenths with a bit of a wide moment. but the guys are on rails out there with 20 laps out of 27 out there. T4 Real is closing back up on the DRS down the back straight, but again is going to back out of it towards the braking zone. If only it was a little bit longer. He keeps thinking to himself. Bungus is on the back of John Miser though.
I think it's the other way around, because John Meister just made the move on Bungus and he has gone up into P4. Arrows seems to be very close to the top two, silently making up a lot of time. And now he's trying to go for P2 down the inside on T for Real. He's taken the second position over there with ease, and he's now on the back of Owen. Some sudden pace from Arrows. He was about a second away, and he seems to have caught up very drastically on that 20th lap, and now he's on the back of Owen trying to fight for the lead, taking an early apex through turn 15 and getting out of throttle as early as possible. Wide open DRS. Well, his ERS seems to have depleted a lot because he was pushing to get to this lead pack.
Fantastic stuff from Arrows. He's clawed his way back up through the field with his early issues, but great stuff from himself. Owen will definitely be feeling the pressure because these two drivers are on the same lap old tyres, and Owen is on the hards and Arrows is on the mediums. Owen has to pray that Arrows is going to run out of tyre life anytime soon, but Arrows is right on the back of him through the back straight here. Surely it's going to be a slam dunk down the back straight here. The ERS is being deployed a little bit. Owen defends the inside half-heartedly, but Arrows goes around the outside, and it's already done before the braking zone. That's the change of the lead, ladies and gentlemen. It's Arrows, your new race leader.
Well, new race leader, and he's pulling away with a lot of pace. In fact, he's almost taken out 4/10 after the exit of that chicane on the exit of turn 9, and that's some mad pace he's showing us. And I don't know if he's going to pull out of DRS, because that will be very useful for him, and Owen might be under pressure from T for Real, but both Owen and T for Real seem to have lost some pace suddenly out of nowhere, and they have John Meister as well catching up pretty quickly. And as I speak, Owen has gone out of DRS over there, I presume, from Arrows.
Owen just about out of the DRS there. John Mazer comes into the pit lane for a new set of tyres. He's crying foul for that one. But yeah, it's going to be interesting towards the end of this race. Is Arrows' tyres gonna last? Because John Mayer in the pit lane on 11 lap old mediums, unless he had some damage, that cries a bit foul for these guys up in front on these mediums. They're already on 12 laps, the pair of the lot of them. T4 Real on 14 laps.
Absolutely. In fact, well, I don't know about tire life dying anytime soon. You know, the tire performance cliff, as they say it. There's not going to be much of a drop off for the medium runners, because as you can see, TTV Arrows in the lead. He's pulled out a 1.7 second lead at the same spot as I was talking about this in the previous lap. He's pulled out almost a 2-second lead now on the exit of that chicane out of turn 9. So that's a lot of tire life he has left in those mediums.
Fair enough. That's a very good point that you make. Maybe Owen's hard tyres haven't quite switched on as he was expecting, as he's fallen into the clutches now with T4 Real, who's in third position. So Owen is going to be coming under increasing pressure for second position. Can he keep hold of third by the end of this race? Mr. Meta is DNF'd out there, so that is unfortunate for himself. So 11 drivers left in this race, ladies and gentlemen. It's definitely one, as we said at the start, trying to keep your nose clean to get yourself towards the end of the race, and you could be picking some points up. These guys have been really battling hard out there, though. It's been a fantastic race. 23 laps out of 27. It's only a few laps left, but this has been a fantastic race here, Harry. I can't believe you get to commentate on these guys every single week. I'm so jealous.
Well, 2 weeks, and this is the third week in consecutive times, and yeah, it's pretty exciting. The first race in Mexico itself, during qualifying, I almost lost my voice screaming at how exciting it was. They were taking it to the line with the pace these guys had and how close the grid is as well. So, well, they're not going to disappoint ever, and you're always welcome to join the comm box with us.
Well, that's it. The Prospects eRacing League promotes clean, fast, and hard racing. We do have ourselves a couple of tiers out there as well, but this PC side of things is kicking off fantastically well. As we say before, these guys are all within thousandths of a second, and we literally see it lap by lap here in the race as well. There's side-by-side action through the whole field. And we do promote good, clean racing, ladies and gentlemen, but we are a community. Do join, get in touch, like and subscribe to the channel. If you want to have a race seat, we always say the more the merrier. And we love new drivers. We love getting people involved in Formula 1 and the great sport that is motorsport. We're all just people who love smell and the engines and things like that. So do get involved. It's fantastic, Harry.
Absolutely, and as we were speaking over that, it seems to have kind of neutralized the race towards the end because everyone seems to be out of DRS from each other, and the drivers, for example, Owen is right now 2.5 seconds, almost 2.5 seconds behind Arrows, and Arrow seems to be pulling away with a lot of pace. T for Real as well has lost some pace. I'm not sure if he lost some of the tire life that he had in those mediums while fighting Owen for the lead, and in the dirtier of Owen as well. So Owen has the better tires at the moment, and so does Bungus, because these two drivers are on 14 lap old hards. Out of the top four, I think these two drivers, that's Owen who's in P2 and Bungus in P4, have the best tires. And as you can see over there, Owen is able to stay in P2, and Bungus trying to catch up to T for Real as much as he can, but it's going to be a little tough because he seems to not have the pace compared to T for Real.
So, as you say, there's a telltale sign here as well that Owen's hard tyres might be coming into the window where these mediums might be starting to fall off. T4 was really hassling PRL Owen at the literally only a lap or two ago, and now he's 2.7 seconds behind him, 2.9. So them soft tyres, them medium tyres seem to have gone off for T4. He was 16 laps, and the likes of Arrows are on 14 laps. So is Owen literally about to get himself his second win? 2.3 seconds. It's been hovering there for the last whole lap. I've been keeping an eye on it. This race can come to a bit of a crescendo. T4 without any penalties as well out there is looking very good. But Owen with 5 seconds, can he take 5 seconds out of T4 At the moment he can, but let's see. It's one thing getting to the end of the race as well here, Harry. You have to keep the pressure on, the pace up here.
Absolutely, Lemny. In fact, I wanted to point it out that T for Real has lost a lot of pace. In fact, he's lost another second to Owen, and now he's under pressure from Bungus, and down the back straight, I think he's going to lose his P3 position on track. But keep in mind that we have penalties to be considered, and Arrows is with a 9-second penalty, Owen has a 5-second penalty, and Bungus has 8 seconds. So if he stays within 9 seconds of Arrows, he's technically going to win this race. That is T for Real, even though he's in P4. If we can quickly have the leader timings over there, he's only 7 seconds off the lead, and he's easily getting that win, I presume, from this point on.
So I don't know how much you heard of me there. Unfortunately, I think I got cut off. But as you say there, it's going to boil down to penalties. Can T4 keep within 5 seconds of Owen? It seems to be that's going to be where the race is. He's literally within a couple of tenths of being outside that 5 seconds right now. So with 25 out of 27 on the board, just about to start the penultimate lap, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. This thing is really coming to a crescendo. This Grand Prix being fantastic. Can Owen take the win? Can T4 keep within that 5 seconds? The Arrows with 9 seconds in the penalties may win it on the track, but he might succumb to the penalties. It's going to come to an end here with 2 laps to go. Who's it going to be? I have no idea.
Well, at this pace, I think in this particular point, I think it might be Owen. Because Owen needs to be 5 seconds clear of T for Real, and if my calculations are not wrong, he's just inside that 5 seconds. So T for Real is right now poised for a win, but if there's some kind of battling between Bungus and T for Real, like wheel-to-wheel battle, it'll push them back in terms of time, and that will mean that Owen will run away with the lead. He just needs another 5 tenths to get the win. That is Owen. and he'll be pushing right now. If we can go on board Owen and see what he's trying to do. He's not up on ERS as well. He seems to be deploying all of it and not being able to get some back. In the final sector, he can use some of the brakings, use a little time on the brakes more, and gain some ERS and deploy all of it and go for a push lap on the final lap, that's lap 27, and probably fight for that win, because he needs 5 tenths, and if he gets that 5 tenths, he will have the win in his bag.
So T4 Real is right on the back of Bungus, who is catching Owen, and he's going to be gaining on that DRS. So if he wasn't in that DRS zone, Owen may well very much have it. But T4 Real is going to be getting this DRS help down the straight. So can he keep it in that 5 seconds? As you say, this is where the race is at. But Arrows is out in the lead at the moment. 2.7 seconds on the rest of the field. It is a commanding lead. I don't think he's going to throw it into the wall anytime soon. He has 9 seconds of penalties, but he's going to try and take it on the track, ladies and gentlemen. Can he come along to win the race here? Owen is your de facto race leader with the penalties being adjusted, but can T4 Real in fourth keep within 5 seconds of him? It's really coming down close now. I think Owen may or may not have it here as T4 Real goes on the outside of Bungus. He's trying to use everything that he possibly can, trying not to get involved in a race battle, but use the DRS advantage. He's timed it to perfection. He's 4.7 seconds behind Owen. It's coming down to the last few corners here, Harry.
Absolutely. In fact, I felt Bungus must have noticed that there is a chance that T4 Real has a chance for the win, and he's sending it now. In fact, I think it's race over, and it is T4 Real who's going to win the race, because he's not losing much of time. He's only gaining a lot of time, and he seems to be right now. Oh, Owen is spun. Owen is spun, and he's lost 2 positions over there. Oh man, that would be a bummer. He was trying to get the win over there, and he spun again. Get yourself back, Owen. Get yourself back. You might lose another position, I think, another couple of positions over there because of that spin. But right now, as we are in that disappointment that Owen might lose positions and might not finish in the top 5 itself, let's go back and see who's the race winner, and it is T4 Real right now. On track, he finished P2, but with the penalties adjusted, he is our race winner. The Red Bull driver T4 Real, brilliant race from him. Arrows comes in the beautiful P2, because he started from P14 on hards, and we were questioning if he'll have the grip around, but he seems to have kept it clean and has come in P2, and the podium is finished off by John Meister, who got spun around in the safety car restart, and now he had got pushed down to P15, I think, and now he's on the podium with a beautiful P3 for Ferrari.
I cannot believe it, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot believe it. Within touching distance of the race win, Owen throws it away at the last few corners. But that is motor racing. I said it before, I'll say it again. It can't get any worse, but it really can. So that has been an amazing end to this race. Fair play to every single driver out there this evening. But I tell you now, I am on the edge of my seat with that one, Harry. I still can't believe it. The drivers are coming onto the podium now with the countries they represent flying in the background there. Fair play to the race winner there, hoisting up the trophy. The champagne will be flowing. And telling you now, the guys need to take a breath with that one. That was such a great race ending to the race. And it's T4 Real who takes the race win.
T4 Real does take the race when he started on P7, and a beautiful drive over there. Really managed to keep the pressure on for Owen, and then managed to lose the position, but played the long game and noticed that he just had to stay within those time penalties to get the win, and he does get the win with the clean race. Win for T4 Real, followed by P2 for TTV Arrows, and John Meister finishing off the podium positions. Beautiful drive from all of these drivers. Bungus in P4, Owen in P5, Dan Walker in P6, Dill in P7, Sushi Trash in P8, JDX in P9, and the top 10 rounded off by Jonas, who's in P10. JD05 comes in P11, Meta in P12, Tom in P13, and I think there's a DNF from there on. So P12 all the way to the bottom of the grid are all DNF'd, and they did not finish the race. But nonetheless, I think a beautiful race, so much action and so much to talk about, and they did not leave us even a second to catch our breath.
I tell you now, look, that has to be one of the most entertaining. I say it every single time I commentate for the Prospects eRacing League, but I genuinely mean it. That has to be one of the best races I have ever seen. I can't believe it. T Hill, man, fair play to him. Arrows in second. John, I tell you now, Bungers and Owen in fifth. Oh my word almighty. I can't even get the words out my mouth. That was a fantastic race. Fair play to the guys.
Absolutely, and the chat as well, going pretty wild with that race. Obsidian seems to have lost his mind. He almost was rooting for Owen to get that win, because he seemed to have had the calculator out, calculating if those penalties will, work out for Owen to get the win. But yeah, I think in the end it was a little chanceless for him to get the win, with T4L going past Bungus, and then post that, I think T4L just cruising after Owen had that spin on the final lap in the third sector.
For real, I'm telling you now, he kept within that second of Owen as well, though. 5 seconds. He was really piling the pressure. He got that DRS from Bungus in fourth as well, which kept him in the game. But I'm telling you now, it just goes to show it ain't over till it's over. And we literally seen it here this evening. Arrows takes it on the track, but loses it with penalties. T for real gets it with penalties, but let it be known he drove really great for that race win. He really deserved to hear this evening. Commiserations to Owen on the last lap with only 5 corners to go. He loses the rear and spins out of what was literally first position on time penalties. So congratulations to everyone though this evening who finished the race as well. It was such an entertaining one. I tell you now, I'm buzzed at that one. I just can't say any better. I just can't. Absolutely amazing.
Well then, that brings a close on to our round 3 for the PC Tier 1 Season 6 France race at the Circuit Paul Ricard. Beautiful battles, beautiful lap times, beautiful wheel-to-wheel action, some mad amount of incidents as well, a safety car to throw into the mix, and I guess that sums up to how much of an exciting race it was. We had a T4Real who won the race away from P2 and P3, who came in. John Meister with that brilliant drive to P3, and TTV Arrows, I think, with the P2, finished a second of P1 with that penalties, that those 9 seconds or 8 seconds of penalties. So, yeah, that's all we have for tonight, and this is it from the PC Tier 1 race, and we'll see you in the next stream in PS. All the best, good night, and see you guys later next week.
All the best.